Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the LT55 lens conversions for Panasonic bridge cameras. The LT55 lens conversion has been around for some time now. In fact, it was initially developed for the Panasonic Lumix FZ80 bridge camera way back in the early noughties. It's still been raved about by FZ330 and FZ72 users, and a few FZ82 users as well. So I thought I would try and pick one up, especially as I have a couple of emails from viewers asking what I thought about them. As I'd never tried them before, I was really unsure, so I tried to get my hands on one. Now, the LT55 is not a cheap accessory. And it was new from Panasonic. This little lens would cost you about £150. Then Panasonic would tell you that you should use the LA8 lens adapter, but there was a good reason for that. What the LA8 does is it attaches to the front of your Panasonic FZ82 or 72, and that allows you to screw on this adapter. But what it does do is it allows the zoom to move in and out without causing any wear, any weight, because this unit is quite heavy to the front of your FZ82, and that would cause problems with the motors for the zoom by putting extra load on them, and you could possibly strip the gears. So while this is essential, this LA8, it is simply a metal tube threaded on one end and the other, and Panasonic would strip you of £40 new for that item. So in addition to the cost of your Panasonic FZ82, that's potentially, when new, £190. But if you know me by now, then you'll know that I like a bargain. So I shopped around and found two sellers selling these two items separately, which meant I got a better deal. So collectively I spent about £50 on this conversion. Still a hefty sum, especially if I'm not happy with the results, but that'll be coming later on, and I'll show you the images I managed to capture. On a personal note, it's not been a fantastic start to 2025. I managed to come down with a cold and then a stomach bug and then an eye infection, which is not great for getting out and doing some photography. However, I did manage to test the conversion. However, it was from within the house, looking through windows. So please bear in mind when we're looking at these images that I am shooting through glass, but I think, you know, it should give you a good idea of the type of images you can get with this setup. So after screwing the LA8 onto the Panasonic FZ82 and attaching the LT55, my first subject was something simple, just the road sign at the end of the street. I'll show you the shot without the lens conversion on, and one with the lens conversion. My initial thoughts were it doesn't really add much to the already fantastic range of the FZ82. Certainly initially on the back of the camera I didn't see much difference. As you can see, it does get you closer. Okay, so while the LT55 did get us closer, it wasn't that much closer, and did I feel it was worth the investment? Well, that kind of changed once I switched to the back garden and started photographing birds. Now, we do have a bird feeder outside in the back garden. It is fairly close to our patio windows, and usually I have to be fairly close to the windows with a camera set up, say on a tripod, in order to capture some good shots of the birds. With the LT55 I was able to move my position. I actually went and shot through an upstairs window, and that gave me not only a bit more cover. With the LT55 it does pull in the birds that little bit closer, making it easier to capture birds in the trees. There are a couple of those shots I'm particularly quite happy with, and I think they're an improvement on what I would normally get with the FZ82 without the lens conversion. So should you rush out and buy one of these LT55 conversions? Well, until recently they were available new from Panasonic. However, they do seem to be all out of stock now, so assuming that Panasonic has discontinued this item now, so you'll be struggling to find it from Panasonic. However, you may still find them on the shelves in a few camera shops and online retailers. The other option is to do what I did, which was to look on eBay for one. Should you pick one up? Well, let's go through the pros and cons, and you can make that decision. So first, the pros. Well, it's fairly straightforward to fit, just a case of screwing onto the front of the camera and then attaching the lens. There is a lens conversion setting in the camera itself. Apparently that's just something to do with the image stabilization rather than anything particularly to do with the lenses. I have noticed that with when I use the Raynox, it does give you that option as well, and I never bothered with it. I did try it this time and I couldn't particularly see any difference in how the FZ82 performed, to be honest. The other main benefit is, of course, it is going to give you some extra zoom without going into the digital zoom side of it. So onto the cons. Well, it was hit and miss whether you got a nice sharp image. Some of them were a little bit softer than I was expecting. Also, you have to take into the account that all of this is going to add extra weight to your gear, so that's going to mean it's a bit of a heavier camera to carry around, or extra items to carry in your camera bag, which is one of the reasons you go for a bridge camera over a detachable lens camera in the first place. Is everything's all in one, you don't have to carry extra items. Once you've assembled the unit, what you will also notice is that, excuse the noise, take the back cap off Andrew first. What you'll find is that the extra length on this unit means that keeping the camera steady is definitely a difficult thing to do. A monopod is going to be a must, or a tripod, to be honest, and ideally you want a collar around here to mount that camera about there on the tripod so you get an equal balance. You can hand hold it, but it is an extra weight, and that is definitely something else to consider, because one of the great reasons the FZ82 is great is it is extremely light, even with the batteries in it. Overall then, do I recommend this conversion? Well, if you pick one up cheap like I did, then why not? Go for it. However, if you are looking to spend a lot of money on it, then possibly think again. There are ways to save money, for example the LA8. Now there is a chap on eBay selling a aftermarket version. Looks pretty much like an identical part, except it's not made by Lumix. I decided to go for the original part because for what I was paying for it was pretty much about the same as getting one from Germany with the postage, and then there was also the additional risk of any import tax. So I decided to go for the original part and combine it with this one, which I picked up for another camera. It was listed with an FZ80, I think, and the guy was selling it with a different adapter, so I got a good deal that way. I think it may have put off some FZ82 users because it was listed as a part for an FZ30. Well, I hope you found this video useful, particularly those subscribers who contacted me and asked me what I thought of this conversion. Obviously, at that time, I had to say I'm not sure because I've never tried it. Now I have. You've seen the results. I hope it helps you make your mind up as to whether you're going to consider buying one of these. So that leaves me to say thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed, why not subscribe to the channel? It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Please do give this a thumbs up if you have enjoyed watching it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.